رضيت بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا. رضيت بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا وبمحمد صلى الله عليه وسلم نبيا ورسولا. في حماك ربي غاية رضاك، والقلب في يقين يحيا على هداك. ذو الجلال في علاه ما لنا سواه، هو واهب الحياة فلنبتغي رضاه. القادر الحليم الغافر الرحيم، إن قال كن يكن سبحانه العظيم. رضيت بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا. رضيت بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا وبمحمد صلى الله عليه وسلم نبيا ورسولا. ديننا حياة، ديننا عطاء، والكون من ضياء يستلهم الصفاء. ربنا ارتضاه لنا كامل تمام، قد جاء بالسلام والخير للأنام. وأنا به رضيت وبنوره هديت، سأظل ما حييت أقول في دعائي. رضيت بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا. رضيت بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا وبمحمد صلى الله عليه وسلم نبيا ورسولا. صلوا على النبي، 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 صلوا على النبي. رضيت بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا. رضيت بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا وبمحمد صلى الله عليه وسلم نبيا ورسولا. رضيت بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا. رضيت بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا وبمحمد صلى الله عليه وسلم نبيا ورسولا. فجرا جئت بعد العسر يسرا، ربنا أعلاك قدرا يا إمام الأنبياء. أنت في الوجدان حي، أنت للعينين ضي، أنت عند الحوض ري، أنت هاد وصفي. يا حبيبي يا محمد، يا نبي سلام عليك، يا رسول سلام عليك، يا حبيب سلام عليك، صلوات الله عليك. يا نبي سلام عليك، يا رسول سلام عليك، يا حبيب سلام عليك، صلوات الله عليك. يرتوي بالحب قلبي، حب خير رسل ربي، من به أبصرت دربي. يا شفيعي يا رسول الله، أيها المختار فينا، زادنا الحب حنينا، جئتنا بالخير دينا، يا ختام المرسلين، يا حبيبي يا محمد، يا نبي سلام عليك، يا رسول سلام عليك، يا حبيب سلام عليك، صلوات الله عليك. يا نبي سلام عليك، يا رسول سلام عليك، يا حبيب سلام عليك، صلوات الله عليك. يا نبي سلام عليك، يا رسول سلام عليك، يا حبيب سلام عليك، صلوات الله عليك. يا نبي سلام عليك، يا رسول سلام عليك، يا حبيب سلام عليك، صلوات الله عليك. يا نبي سلام عليك، يا رسول سلام عليك، يا حبيب.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning to all the honorable IIUM lecturers, the facilitators of Ta'aruf Week for Semester 1 2021-2022, all the new students of IIUM, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. Welcome to the virtual tour and safety awareness briefing. For your information, this is our last session with Kulliyyah of Engineering, and we hope that all excited to know more facilities. So now, are you ready for it? Without any delay, let's start our virtual tour. First of all, we have to know the flow to enter any premises in Kulliyyah of Engineering. So let's check it out. Flow.
How to enter any premises in Kulliyyah of Engineering. In Kulliyyah of Engineering, we are using the iCheck attendance apps as a registration system for all KOE community in all any premises in our building. How to register? First, install the iCheck attendance apps from the Google Play Store or Apple Store from your phone. Then, create a new account to register, fill in the required details and register. How to use the iCheck attendance apps? First, when you enter the Kulliyyah of Engineering compound, get clearance by scanning the QR code at the clearance station. Currently, we have 5 clearance stations at every building of the Kulliyyah of Engineering. E0 building at the MME Department Office Level 2. For E1 building at the Dean's Office ground floor. For E2 and E3 building, the clearance station is at the QUT Office ground floor E2 building. For the E4 and the E6 building, it is at the Automotive Workshop ground floor E4 building. Then for the E5 buildings, Civil Engineering Department Office Level 2. Second, after you get the clearance, you can go to the specific location or specific premises that you want to go. Then, check in by scanning the QR code at the premises entrance. Lastly, you done check in, then you can enter now. Okay, brothers and sisters, this is the flow to enter any venue or laboratory in Kulliyyah of Engineering. First, at the clearance point, scan your body temperature and register yourself by using the iCheck attendance apps. Then, you can go to the lab or the venues that you want to go. Check in yourself by using the iCheck attendance apps when you reach the labs or the venues. 3. At the lab, you need to fill in the laboratory or the equipment logbook using your own pen. Then, you can use the equipment or you can attend the lab session. 5. Upon finishing your work at the laboratory, you are requested to disinfect your own work area or the equipment. The staff there will guide and monitor you. Lastly, you can log out the finishing time in the laboratory or equipment logbook inside the laboratory.
Brothers and sisters, now you know the flow to enter any premises in KOE. So after this, don't forget to install the iCheck attendance app and do the account registration. So next, I'm sure most of you would like to know more about IIUM and KOE facilities. So now let's have our virtual tour to the IIUM and KOE facilities. Brothers and sisters, as you all know, Kulliyyah of Engineering also has a few courses on laboratory and workshop. Now let's together explore the variety of labs and workshops in KOE for all the engineering department. Let's check it out.
Welcome to Computer Integrated Manufacturing Laboratory, which is situated in Block E0, Level 1. In this lab, there are 3 equipment used for teaching and learning. Coordinate Measuring Machine, CMM, used in Manufacturing Engineering Lab 3. PLC Trainer, used in Manufacturing Engineering Lab 4. And Micro Machining, used in Manufacturing Engineering Lab 1. Materials Testing Laboratory is situated in Block A0, Level 1. This is where students perform experiments for mechanical testing, course Manufacturing Engineering Lab 2. In this laboratory, there are equipment such as impact tester, Rockwell hardness tester, and universal testing machine. Metallography Laboratory is situated in Block E0, Level 2. This is where students can perform sample preparation using grinder, polisher, cold mounting, hot mounting, and coater. This lab also have a fume cupboard for students to carry out etching process. In this laboratory, there are optical microscope, scanning electron microscopy, and energy dispersive X-ray spectroscopy. Metrology Laboratory is situated in Block E0, Level 2. This laboratory housed measuring equipment used for course Manufacturing Engineering Lab 3. There are Wheatstone bridge, oscilloscope, surface roughness tester, microvicus hardness tester, and profile projector. Production Laboratory is situated in Block A0, Level 1. In this laboratory, there is lathe machine used for experiment in course Manufacturing Engineering Lab 3. In this laboratory, there is also Mazak machine model VCN 410A. Course Workshop Technology is conducted in workshop. This is a single-story building called E6. Workshop itself is divided into several sections, such as foundry, machining, measurement, welding, and woodworking. workshop is where students learn to make sand casting. They will learn to make molds for ferrous and non-ferrous metal casting. In machining section, students learn conventional machining processes such as lathe, milling machine, and drill presses. In measurement section, students learn to use and calibrate measurement instruments, calibration terminology, and practices. In welding section, students learn the processes to perform MIG welding, TIG welding, plasma arc welding, and gas welding. In woodworking section, students learn to apply manufacturing and technology knowledge. This is where they acquire the skill of hand-eye coordination, spatial visualization, and problem-solving technique.
Alright, brothers and sisters, don't leave yet because we have now come to the last video for today's session. As we all know, in everything we do, safety comes first. So now let's get to know the basic safety procedures that we all should know and abide. Let's check it out.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In this video, I'm going to introduce to you the safety procedure in our kuliyyah. Since we are involved in lab and workshop activities, which has many equipment and machineries, we are obliged to adhere to the safe operating procedure. This is to prevent ourselves from involving in any accident in the labs or workshops. We will discuss few key subjects such as PPE, signages, fire, and safety, in which we will explain further in the coming videos. Thank you and enjoy the show. As indicated by this arrow, This is the safety green jacket. This green jacket, you have to wear it whenever you enter a lab or workshop. This green jacket is important because it protects your body from any harm, such as any flying hot chips or material or heat. You have to wear this safety jacket properly, as the man in this picture has worn it. Next, we are going to see the safety shoes. The safety shoes, as you can see in this video, is usually worn in the labs or workshop. In an electrical or electronic lab, they might use a different type of safety shoe that suits the lab. But in general, this safety shoe here suits all the labs. This safety shoe is important to protect your feet from any kind of accident. So the steel that located at the toe part of the shoe will protect your feet from any injury from these falling heavy objects. So it is important to wear this safety shoe whenever you are in the labs or workshop, or whenever you are working in the labs or workshop. This poster can also be seen in the labs. If we look into the poster, there is a color code which is blue. In this case, blue indicates it is mandatory to wear this PPE, such as PPE for eyes, ears, respiratory, head, body, feet, and etc. If you see any of these blue colored symbol in any places, that indicates it is mandatory for you to wear it all the times. This is a face shield. Face shield is used to protect our face from bacterial contamination, chemical splashes, or high velocity flying particles. Face shield usually used in some moving parts process, such as grinding, turning, or milling. Face shield also used in chemical laboratories to protect from chemical splashes. This is a welding glove. This welding glove usually used in welding activities, but this welding glove also can be called as heat resistant glove, which we can use in any hot work or high temperature related activities, such as collecting sample from the oven. This is an N95 mask. It is used to protect from airborne and fluid hazards such as splashes or sprays. This is a safety goggle. Safety goggles are intended to shield the wearer's eyes from impact hazards such as flying fragments, objects, large chips, and particles. This is a type of signage which usually can be seen on the heavy or sophisticated equipment or machineries. If you see this particular signage here, it reads as "Do not operate this equipment unless technically qualified," which means that you have to engage the technical staff or technician of the lab to operate this machine. Because this machine, it needs technically qualified people and it needs higher safety requirement. This is a fire extinguisher. So this is how you use a fire extinguisher. First of all, you pull the pin, you aim using the hose, aim at the base of the fire, you squeeze the lever to discharge the fire extinguisher, and then you shift the hose side to side. Before you're using the fire extinguisher, please check the expiry date of the fire extinguisher. For an example, in this case, the expiry date is on July 2021, so this fire extinguisher can be used safely. If you found out that the fire extinguisher is expired, please do inform the person in charge of that workshop so that they can replace with the new one. This is an example of a first aid kit. So this first aid kit you may find in the labs or in the workshop. Every labs and workshop must have this first aid kit. This first aid kit is to give you a first aid treatment when you involved in any incident or accident. In this part, I'm going to show you about the exit sign, or it is read as Kulliyyah in Malay. This exit sign must be visible at all the times. In order to do that, the light in the sign should be illuminated at all times. This is where you look for when there is an emergency in the building. This is the escape route whenever you need to evacuate the building during an emergency, such as fire. The door should not be locked if there's anybody in the building during the operational hour. In the next video, you will see how the evacuation procedure is done.
Distinguished guests, brothers and sisters, I think that's all for our virtual tour and safety awareness short briefing. Before we end the session, I would like to invite everyone for the photography session. You can turn on your camera and show your big smile. So I hope the committee in charge for photography session is ready. All right. All right, thank you for the photography session. A little reminder for all the new students of IIUM to fill in the attendance form given in the chat box. Distinguished guests, brothers and sisters, we would like to extend our sincere thanks for your participation and attention throughout this evening slot. We hope that all of you enjoy this session and obtain multiple information regarding Kulliyyah of Engineering. On behalf of Kulliyyah of Engineering community, we wish you all the best throughout your journey. Let's end our session today with Tasbih Kafarah and Surah Al-Asr. You may leave now. Thank you. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.